Welcome to Almost 30 Podcast. How are you guys? My name's Krista. This is my best friend, Lindsey. We're coming to you live from New York right now.
New York City, baby. We're downtown in a new studio. So happy to be here. Thanks for just being with us. Maybe a lot of you have been with us since the beginning. So you remember our like little keys early on our closet floors talking about all the things. We're like, can we just kick off this recording week with a little catch up?
I saved a lot.
Yeah.
So this week.
She saves everything,
I
which I
save
love.
everything. I save as much as I can. So we just wanted to catch up today. It's like January 2025. We are starting the new year and it's been another year together. It's been another year of almost 30. It's been another year of change. I feel like there's been so much that's happened in your life, so much that's happened in mine. And it's been so crazy to look over the years with almost 30 because we've been doing this since 2016. How different we are and how much has happened and even how much our community has grown. There's just so much happening. So this is our little 2025 catch up with your girls. I was just telling her, I'm in New York. I forgot to book my room at Soho House. Kill me.
You're like, that's why she forgot.
Yeah, I was like,
she booked it at the Soho instead of the Soho
they're
House.
like, get her out. Like, call the cops. I literally got dropped off and I knew in that moment that I forgot to book my room. I was like, I forgot to book my room. It's all good. I walked in and I was like, okay, guys, I forgot to book my room. Let's figure it out. And when you're in a good mood, everyone's going to help you and everyone's in a good mood. So I got the biggest room in the whole place.
Heck yeah.
At a discount.
Amazing.
I know. They were like, actually, the only room we have is this big one. I'm like, that's fine. They're like, let's see what we can do with our manager to see if we can like hook it up. I'm like, great.
Perfect.
It was perfect. It's the most haunted, weird room, but it all worked out. But on Tuesday night when I'm here, I need to figure out another place because every place in New York is like $2,000 a night on Tuesday. I don't know what it is.
Wait, what?
The public hotel was $4,500.
What?
Dude,
wait, Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday the what?
The 10th.
10th?
I have no idea what that is.
Is it the tree lighting? Like what's up?
It has to be something. Like there's literally something going on in the city where also too, this room hotels now being at least $1,000 a night for is so wild.
Remember when it used to be like $159?
Oh, remember Motel 8 was like $88?
I mean, I don't because I never stayed.
That was Ohio, baby. What do you mean? Those are my roots. Motel 8. Like we used to like get a room and like party
or like
in
Red
Ohio.
Roof, where
Red
we're
Roof
from.
Yeah, it used to be $300 was like a splurge.
Totally.
It was between $100 and $300, and now hotels are like $1,200.
I wonder what that is,
dude.
Yeah, I think probably taking advantage of people who just like need to get the out
and inflation, for sure.
So
I think it's now normalized to pay that much. Yeah. I don't know, but it's
so you have to go somewhere else Tuesday night.
I have to figure out where I'm going.
They're like one catch.
No, they said they're like one catch, only 2 nights. And I was like, okay. And I've looked at other places. I might just have to stay in like a dump.
That's so crazy.
I know. It's so crazy. But it feels good to be back. Sometimes when I'm back in New York, I don't love it, but today it's warm. It's like feeling good to be back.
Yeah, it was actually perfect. I mean, it was free. That's why I was like, bring layers.
Yes.
We can't do a walk at 5 p.m. It's going to be too cold. Like it's been freezing.
I was wearing shorts yesterday.
Oh, really?
I went to the Soho.
That's a little extreme.
I know it's a little short. I went to the Soho in Greenwich where that guy that I dated was, and I was just like, wow, I can't believe this has been a year.
Oh my God, it's been a whole year?
It's been a whole year. And I was like in Soho, Greenwich, and just like, wow, you used to work out here. So weird.
Soho or Equinox?
Sorry, Equinox Greenwich.
Yeah.
Sorry, Equinox Greenwich, which is a dump.
Wait, I'm like actually tripping on the timing. That's kind of crazy. How do you feel about time this year? Because I kind of feel, tell me how you feel about
That's a great question. I want to hear how you feel about time too. I think I was sitting at the bar last night eating dinner alone, and I was just like, this is my whole struggle right now is I'm either doing this incredibly or I'm fucking it all up.
Yeah.
And I mean that like I'm having so much fun. I'm enjoying my life so much. I couldn't be happier with dating or whatever I'm doing. And I could be literally fucking myself because I'm not taking family seriously or wifehood seriously. And it's like, is there a point where I've taken it too far and now I'm screwing myself?
I know what you mean.
You know, it's like, because especially with kids, I was telling you before, so I got my eggs tested. I've never had my eggs frozen. It's not been something I've ever wanted. I don't think anyone wants it, but it's been something I've just not, I kind of didn't even recognize it as something that would happen. And so I went to the gyno for the first time since 2021 when I was married. And I walked in and she's like, hey, how's your husband? I was like, not around.
Sister.
Yeah. I was like, let me tell
Check my
you.
chart.
Honestly, I just like open up my legs. I'm like, where do you think my husband is?
Can you get anything in there?
Yeah, honestly, I was like, you tell me what's going on in there if there's a husband. Cobwebs. And I was like, oh, since I last saw you, we're not together. She's like, oh, okay. She's like, how old are you? I'm like, X years. And she's like, okay, you want to be a mom? And I'm like, yeah, I want to be a mom. And she's like, you need to get your eggs frozen. And I was like, okay, like, I think there is a way that a lot of people approach it that's fear mongering. I do think she's just being straight, where she's like, you need to get your eggs frozen at this point.
And it's also one of those doctor things where like, she's covering her ass a little bit in a way.
So true.
Because you could say like, why didn't you tell me to blah, blah, blah. So
true. I agree. It was fine. It was pretty neutral. She did seem disappointed that I was divorced. maybe I was projecting. I don't know. Like, it was weird the way she was looking at me. It was very weird. She was like, oh, are you like sexually active? They ask you that and then you're like, whatever. So I got my eggs tested though. And she sent me my results yesterday. She's like, your result was whatever. And she's like, which is really good and reassuring, period. And that's all she said. I was like, reassuring to who? You or me?
Dude.
I was like, what's up with you, lady?
Yo.
Like.
She's like, don't say I didn't tell you.
She's like, don't say I didn't tell you.
Wow.
I know. I was like.
No, I think, listen, we never know, right?
Yes.
We never know.
Yes.
And like my thing is, the egg thing is just insurance.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I would feel pretty confident myself or you that like it would happen naturally.
Yeah.
But again, it's just like insurance.
Yes.
Like I would think, and I don't know the stat, that most people don't use them.
That's my whole thing with it is that it's not guaranteed that it works. If it was guaranteed, I'd be like, cool. But I think for me, where I came to is that the risk is too great. Like the end goal of having children is too important to me to not do insurance with it.
Sure.
I trust myself and my body and I feel really healthy, but it's like you probably should do whatever you can. So I'm going to do it sometime next year after book launch.
Yeah. Because it's a thing. It's like how many weeks? That's
the whole thing. It's like a whole process. Then you get a surgery. Yeah. Then you're like.
It happens in a very short period of time, like the intensity of it. Because I went through I didn't myself, but I watched the whole process way back in the day.
With Spring Fertility.
With Dr. Bob.
Yes.
Oh, and Spring Fertility, we like talked about it. But Dr. Bob, I literally went behind the scenes at every point in the process with him.
Were you going to then?
No.
Okay.
No, it was for the pod.
Okay, I know that. But it's so weird because the reason why I ask is because I could imagine you were at that single period. You know what I mean? You were in such a single identity that I could imagine you being like, should I?
Oh yeah, I honestly didn't even think I thought about it then. Because we were young.
Yeah.
Like we're
very young.
We're still very young.
Yeah.
But it was right when we started the pod, probably the first 2 years, I think. So I wasn't even thinking about it. I think he said, when you get to this age, let's talk. Whatever. And I was like, okay.
That's what my plastic surgeon said about me wanting to get my eyes done.
Dude. Talk to my Nana. She's gotten it 3 times.
Dude, he's like, dude, wait till you're this age and then we'll talk. And I'm like, okay, thank you.
Who did I just saw got it done and showed it on
I'm not
Instagram?
doing it. It was just a joke.
Yeah.
Guys.
Eyes are an interesting thing though. I don't even think it counts as plastic surgery. It done?
Alex Cooper.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I think she got an upper and lower breath and a brow lift. I think it looks amazing. That's my thought.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Could be true or not.
Yeah.
The human body is amazing. It can repair and grow in ways that are still pushing the limits of what science can explain, even in 2025. I experienced this after birth. I was like, what the heck did my body just do? And wow, it's healing so quickly. It's changing so quickly. But anyway, as you age, your body's natural healing and building processes slow down. I'm 37. I've noticed this. It's totally normal, but it doesn't mean there's nothing for you to do about it. I have noticed that when I am taking collagen, I feel and look my best. And I trust ancient nutrition so much. I've been taking Ancient Nutrition Collagen for years, and I need to recommend some stuff for you. So they create high quality supplements that combine the best of ancient wisdom and modern science. Their multi-collagen advanced lean supplement is one that I am taking right now. I also love their bone broth collagen. Oh my God, the bone broth protein in chocolate is my ultimate. I add that to a mint tea, actually. One of my favorites. But the formula, the lean formula that I'm taking, is powered by clinically studied ingredients. It promotes fat loss and healthy weight management, as well as building lean muscle, which is the one that I'm after. I'm after lean muscle. Collagen can reduce joint discomfort and improve the look and growth of your skin, hair, and nails. If you are not supporting your skin, hair, and nails internally, you're not going to see the results that you want. Let me just tell you that from what you're putting on your skin. Plus, Ancient Nutrition's multi-collagen advanced lean is so yummy. It's easy to work into your daily routine. Maybe you mix it in your coffee, which I do, your matcha, or maybe your favorite smoothie. So right now, Ancient Nutrition is offering 25% off your first order when you go to ancientnutrition.com/almost30. That's a pretty major discount. I don't see that often. So take advantage. That's ancientnutrition.com/almost30 for 25% off your first order. ancientnutrition.com/almost30. Okay, I'm a new mom, and listening to books has completely changed my life. I love Audible. Years ago, I downloaded the Audible app, and intermittently, like on trips and when I'm traveling, I get into my audiobooks, and I am absolutely in love with consuming books in this way. But now, as a new mom, I mean, on my walks, in the bath, like while I'm folding laundry, I am listening to audiobooks, and I am so excited. You can explore over 1 million audiobooks, podcasts, and exclusive audio originals that'll inspire you and motivate you and just scratch that itch. You know, if you want to laugh, if you want to cry, if you want to be inspired, they have something for you. For our community, I know you are into well-being, advice, really just designing a life that you absolutely love. And there are so many leading professionals and experts on better health and relationships, career, finance, investing, and so much more on Audible. And I'm so excited for you to try. You know, listening to audiobooks has completely helped me to reach some of my goals lately. Like, for example, recently I listened to The Let Them Theory. That is Mel Robbins' new book, and she has the audiobook version, and I love it because Mel's reading it. And I was able to kind of have it along with me during my day and then actually implement it in the moment. And it was so, so powerful. So, all right, new members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/almost30. That's audible.com/almost30, or you can text almost30 almost 30 to 500 500. That's 500 500. Enjoy, y'all.
That's an interesting one because hey, if you can't see through your eyes and your freaking thing is sagging over your eye.
Yeah. It's fully not for function, fully for looks. But on the time thing, I mean, especially being a mom, like watching a child go so fast, but it's like, what is that like?
I mean, I was just watching, a friend of mine sent me like a video about being a boy mom. Dude, 2 seconds in, I'm just tearing up because I think in those early days of it being just so precious yet so intense, like you're trying to be as present as possible, but you're so in it that like all of a sudden you kind of like come up out of the fog and they're a little person, he's walking, he's smiling with like a full mouth of teeth, and you're like, oh my God, like if this is how much he's grown in literally less than a year, like this is just going to be a crazy wild ride. I think what's been challenging for me is just like noticing like where my work is. And I know we always have that inclination to like better ourselves and like do the work and whatever. But I'm like, as a mom, you know, like looking at where I feel guilty when I'm not with him, yet what makes me feel really good is doing things for myself or working and then going back to him and just kind of noticing, is that taking me away? during times when I really want, like, I should be seeing him do certain things or like watching him grow. It's just like, it's that constant, will I regret this? Am I doing enough? But then also like at the same time, a reminder of like, you know, I'm a really great mom and I'm doing my best. So it's so many things at once that sometimes I get a little, just overwhelmed with all the thoughts because life is so fucking amazing and beautiful and I'm so blessed. And like, I've never been more tired. You know, I don't know what the next quote next thing is or should be. I am anticipating an incredible fun next year with our book. And also I'm stressed. Because I'm like, I have a kid. How do we balance? How do I be away from him? How, you know, like it's kind of that. And so I just want to catch myself and be like, my therapist and I talked about this on another topic, but it applies. And that is, what you're saying is actually telling the universe, God, your life, that you don't trust it. You don't trust that you'll be supported. You don't trust that you'll be taken care of. You don't trust that it'll work out. Basically, I was trying to control
for sure
certain things. And so, yeah, I'm just wanting to like be mindful when that's like at the forefront of things that I do, where I'm trying to control or I'm trying to overanalyze how I'm doing things with him or not doing things with him.
So weird. I don't see you controlling at all.
It's funny.
Maybe because I'm
Sneaky.
more.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe.
Maybe because I'm so controlling that you can't be, but I don't see you as controlling at all.
But I think that's the thing about like personal control. It's like, it's so sneaky.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't want to control you.
Yeah.
I'm just like if we're talking about like, if I want to get pregnant.
Yeah.
We were talking about, that's what I was talking about with my therapist.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, so you want to wait until after all the book stuff and whatever. And I was like, yeah, because I would be like totally stressed and da 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 da. She's like, okay.
Dude, I fucking hate when therapists do that. Shut up.
But she was just
No,
like,
she's amazing. I just, when your therapist goes, okay.
I know, she made a face and she's like,
dude,
she's like,
I can't.
But what does that say? You know, what if it were to happen before then? Like,
yeah, of course.
She's like, it just feels like a lower vibrational intention.
Totally.
Rather than, I trust my life.
Yep.
I trust that no matter what, it'll be like the best thing for me.
Yep.
As a person, best thing, you know, externally, whatever.
Yeah.
So it was just really, it was really interesting.
I think too, there's like with God, you know, it's like we can have preferences. And I'll sometimes even say this, like, God, my preference is for this man to text me and we go on a date. Yeah. But hey, if something I don't know about, you're going to do, like, just make it happen. But yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I'm just laughing because it's, sometimes my therapist will do that. And I'm like, I know what you're thinking and I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or it's like, I know what you're thinking. I get that, but I want to like stay here or like
totally.
whatever.
My human's like, no, this is like the schedule I want to go by.
Yes. You're like, no, I get it. Like this is what I want. And then you like kind of fight for your limitation. Yeah. You know, you fight for it. You're like, no, it's not going to be, you know, and you kind of double down on that being possible. But that'll be really beautiful.
But life is more fun when, you know, if I look back on things that I've like let go of control over, it does become a little bit more fun.
What have you let go of control over? I'm trying to think of what I have. I think mine's my body, dude.
Oh yeah.
Freaking just tight leash. Just letting go of control of my body and letting my body be.
Yeah, and then everything else kind of falls into place. Whether it's internally, externally, like just everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many things. I feel like when I was dating, you know, because I was like really wanting whoever was going to come into my life to be a certain way, look a certain way, like just kind of fit into my life a certain way.
That's a good one.
Control on like my career early on before the pod. And just then like allowing it to like evolve and not be the like one thing that I always wanted to be.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like this is the human expression, acting. but actually there's a whole energetic of
Yeah.
what is powerful about that for you or what works that for you. But in our minds, we're like, this feeling of acting can only be expressed as an actor, but it actually can be done in so many different ways.
And ways that are much more fulfilling.
Much more.
But what's so funny, and maybe I don't even know, once more things come out in Hollywood, but like,
I've been talking about that since 2020.
How crazy that like, I never felt in it. I never felt a part of it. I never felt chosen by it. It's kind of like in college when no one offered me Coke.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
You said that. No one offered me Coke in college, though. I don't know people that did Coke in college.
Everyone did Coke in my college. So people had money. Like,
that's
you
true.
know what I mean?
My sister, I remember in high school, people told my sister that I was doing Coke.
That's cool.
I was sick.
That's like the cool thing.
I was like, well, yeah.
But like with Hollywood, like, I mean, I'm so glad.
Mm-hmm.
And there was probably something about like my soul knew we ain't.
Mm-hmm.
We're good on that.
Yeah, because this is all inauthentic and fake, and it's also changing. It's also like a dying industry.
Completely.
Like it's,
And bless all the actors and actresses out there who are so fucking talented and do this for the love of the craft.
Yeah.
Because there's so many out there that don't get the recognition they deserve. But yeah, I hope it, kind of has a renaissance eventually. But
yeah, I think when I think about this year too, it's like there was it was like changes and a lot of things that happened in my life happened really easily. Like there was a lot of really beautiful things that have just sort of worked out or sort of happened naturally. Like it's been a year of less effort.
yes.
I've worked harder. I've worked more hours. I've worked a lot more than I have in a really long time. I think the year after the divorce, I was kind of like off the grid.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was working that much. So I've been working more, but everything's sort of happened with much more ease and much more flow.
What's an example?
Just with work, like even like coaching, like, you know what I mean? I just love.
It's like when you put that out, it was like.
Yeah, I was just like, this is what I want to do. Well, I had to get through my shadow around it. I had so much judgment about it. I was like, coaches are fake. Like, I don't know. What was my thought? I thought that coaches were scam artists. I thought that I think in the space though, there's a lot that actually don't have the emotional maturity or depth or processing or regulation to be a coach. I think that for me, coaching is so much more spiritual and energetic than maybe another coach who's more focused on outcome.
Yeah.
And so my style is just different. So I had to kind of like remove myself from my own judgments about what other people are doing and just focus on like, who am I? How am I here to serve? What am I here to do? And it's been nice actually to go from the podcast being super wide with people to go in. Like I actually really love going deep one-on-one.
Yeah.
Most people start one-on-one and then get kind of bigger but I kind of went the other way and actually really enjoy that because there's just like such a presence. Like you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to come up. You, from the outside, can see people clearly in their fear or their protection or their judgment or like their thing. And then to lovingly guide people back to themselves or the truth is like such a pleasure. And to have access to people's psyche and parts in that way is just so good. So that just has been such a gift for me and in my life and happening really easily. And now working with so many women that I literally am obsessed with. Like I
feel like, especially with the type of coaching that you do, because there's not that, and people can have goals, and I'm sure you're bringing them to those, but like, because it is that like felt sense of support, you're actually only going to get the people that are like very aligned to like what you provide and be able to connect to them in a really true, authentic way. Because I can imagine that in the coaching world, that's like 6 figures after 6 weeks.
100%.
It's actually 50% of the time, you might not really jive with the person.
Mhm.
Because there's a lot of like static in between of like, why do you
Yes.
want this? Da, da, da. You're getting to kind of the
The
root
root,
of
yes.
everything. Yeah.
I'm like, my girls have changed their lives and they love themselves more. That's like my goal is like them being like, I found myself.
Yeah.
Like I found the home within is like, and to give people that and to have people experience that is like the best thing in the world. And so that's just been a pleasure. And then the retreats has been so much fun.
Yeah.
Like it stretches me and it allows me to be in, and same with coaching my healer self, which I've talked about. But I think that just the ease of that has shown me how when things are right, they are easy. And it's kind of annoying to me because I'm like, okay, I do have to bulldoze everything.
Yeah.
But it does happen when things are easy and right. And I think that has been such a gift this year is really seeing that unfold for me in a way that I resisted for so long and I doubted for so long. And now I'm like, okay, I surrender. Like if it's meant to be, it'll be. And like, I'm going to show up, as myself.
Why do you think it was the perfect time for it to kind of blossom?
I think to blossom, because of everything that I went through with the divorce. And, with the divorce came me finding myself in a way that I didn't have before. I don't think I would have been equipped to have my center and my core and to be a non-judgmental mirror and to have the experience of divorce, have the experience of codependency, have the experience of being in narcissistic relationships, have the experience and awareness of all these things that I can now pull on with people.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh, I've been in a relationship that's this, or I've done this. And even dating now, like dating now too, I'm able to like bring my learnings to people in things. So it's like just the experience, I think that's the thing with coaching is you can be a great coach at a young age. It's not always about your experience, but like you having like actual data and embodiment of the things that you're teaching or talking about is like so much more important, you know?
Yes.
But I think for the hard parts of the year, for me, I think I've pushed myself a little too much. Like I think there have been many points where I've been people pleasing so much that I'm running around the town, doing all the things, being so social, just like burning myself out because I'm such a people pleaser undercover that I can't find a space to like actually say no. The other day I was like in my car and I'm like, oh my God, I think freedom is my value and I think freedom is the most important thing to me. But I'm actually going to all these places this weekend because I don't want people to be mad at me or I don't want people to like let me down or I want them to think I'm a good friend. And I'm actually not living a life of freedom because I'm completely disregarding my own desire for rest for other people.
Right.
And I just didn't see it. And I think that is something I'm really learning about. And really wanting to focus on. And then my dad stuff, my dad being so sick has been so hard and so fascinating. There's like a fascination I have about it, just being in grief and in the process. And so that's been like the thorn.
Yeah.
If the other was the rose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To have like that. Yeah, I feel like the last couple of years have just been like this beautiful contrast for you where it's just like as like beautiful and full and high things can be like, but also do you feel like you've allowed yourself to really feel both?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I've allowed myself to feel my dad's stuff.
Yeah.
It'll come and I'll make space.
Yeah.
But it's weird, man. I don't even know how to describe it. Like
totally.
It's weird. It's like, because the soul knows this isn't the end. The soul knows this is fine. The soul knows all this stuff. And then the human is like, okay, my dad. And then it becomes normal. Like, I think his illness is normal now for me, where I kind of don't expect him to be present or he doesn't really know what's going on. So that's now my normal. So the normalization makes it easier. And for people listening, my dad has Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's came later. Parkinson's came before. And the normal makes it just like, okay, it's happening. So I don't think I've been the best about processing it, but also I'm not going to like poke around and be like, hey.
Well, I also think the soul knows like when it's time to process.
I agree. I do have a fear though. Like now that I feel so good, there's a huge fear that I have where there is a part of me that's like, I can't let this go back.
Yeah.
Where I have a fear of going back to how I felt before or who I was before. And so it's funny, like when you become that version of you that you want, it's like, then you grip it.
Yeah.
And I'm gripping it so hard. I'm like, okay, what is like, I don't want this to go away. I don't want this feeling to go away. I don't want this freedom to go away. I don't want this sense that I have in myself to go away. And it could be something that like gets me in trouble down the line. Not in a bad way, just as like, hey, you're not allowing for the next version, whatever that is.
Sure. Well, it's also, it's like to allow like your experience of your life to be so dynamic. So like to be able to feel the grief and the depth and like also it is a hard balance like at the end of the day. Like it almost feels like you're two people. That gets exhausting. You know, and then to your point, just being afraid of like, what if I don't come out of that for a while? Like I can't afford to do that. I can't afford to do that. I'm in a season where I'm just, like.
And it's almost like your identity now. I'm like, oh, I'm the glow up girl. Everyone thinks I'm thriving. And then I'm like, fuck, what if I don't?
I also think too, and you know, this might be true, might not be true, but like when you're with your person soon, it's like to be able to like feel all of that.
I can't wait.
And just being like witnessed and held for that. I'm going to cry because it's so true.
Yeah.
You're going to be like seen for like all of that and just really held, you know? I mean, you deserve that. You've always deserved that. But I think that's the gift of like being in a relationship. Like you can just be a fucking mess and like come up, you know? Love you. Yeah. It's coming. That's how I know it's coming. It's like very close.
That's what I've said for a year.
God's like, bitch, time doesn't work like that.
You guys, literally, me and Victoria were crying laughing because over a year ago we did a podcast and we're like, we are spiritually claimed right now. Our man is right around the corner. And here I am, a year later, dating this billionaire from a different country. Just like doing whatever. No man in sight.
Holy
as my husband.
fuck.
It is so fucking funny, dude.
Can we talk about that? Do you want to talk about the
dude? Let's talk about dude. Okay, you guys, this is just a little side tea, and then we're gonna go to Lindsey. So the dating this year. Let's talk about the dating. Get comfortable. Has been.
What's been your approach?
My approach is. Let me just say this first of all, then I'm gonna say my approach. I have not dated one man that's my type this entire time.
It's great. I like that.
I need to make that clear. I have a type, and not one of these men have been my type. And it just is, I'm so proud of myself. I've even all my friends know, they're like, you are really going for it. You're really not, which is embarrassing and true. Like, I was laughing the other day too with Jenna. It's like, you could not get me to spend more than 4 minutes with a woman that I don't like. But if a man wants to ask me on a date, when and where?
Totally.
Oh, when and where? I'll go. I'll go. I'm available. So my approach has been intention to have interesting experiences and like have just stories for my life book.
Yeah.
For the plot, as they say. Meet interesting people, learn, experience different parts of myself, have fun. It's been very maiden energy, I would say. I actually realized the other day, I was like, oh, who was I with? I was with someone. I don't know. But I was actually like, I think the men I'm attracting are not, I'm very much approaching men like maiden, where I'm like and maiden is like an archetype. So it's like maiden, mother, crone. And so maiden is the young, like people pleaser, you know, just play, has fun, sexy, vivacious, but like not someone that's in like full wife energy.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why I've been in the place that I'm in, because I've been very play maiden energy, because I was in wife, mom energy for so long. So that's been my approach. And I think it's been very fascinating to see how I actually am like avoidant. And I don't know if I was before, but I'm really like, I don't know, man. When they get too close, I'm like, oh no. Like, I just find myself doing the things that maybe I would have been hurt by in the past. And I find myself being the one that's scared of intimacy. And I find myself being more, I'm pretty avoidant. Like I'm not, they're always in different countries. They're always like other places. Like when something is close to real, I'm like, I'm good.
Like, has anyone been like someone you thought like, oh, wow, like I could see myself with this person and you've also still been avoidant with them?
No, I think New York guy, not him as like a person is not, but like our energy together was yes.
Totally.
Like that was like the closest. And I didn't want a relationship, but I wanted to continue what we were doing.
Yeah.
And so I think that, but any men that have been like, this is what you know what my thing too is though, I have a hard time with men because they're like, this is what I want. I want this. And they're like, what do you want? And I'm afraid that when I say what I want, they're just going to say it back. And that happens to me all the time. I'll be like, I want this. You know, with Billionaire, I'm like, I want to live in the Palisades. He's like, okay, what's your budget for a house? I'll buy a house there. And I'm like, in my head thinking a budget, and he says 4 times the budget. And I'm like, yeah, that could work.
Yeah.
I'm like,
for my house or your house?
Yeah, literally. I'm like, I get the house and you come sometimes. And then or like they'll just say things. I don't know. I'm afraid men are always saying things I want to hear or something.
Well, I also think in that echelon, they can say whatever.
Oh.
You know, to draw you in. And I do believe them because like it's nothing to them.
No,
right?
Literally. That's what's been so crazy about this Billionaire is that like if he's love bombing me, it's different when you're being love bombed by someone who's broke.
Yeah.
Because they're like,
it's actually a little more dangerous.
No, for real. I'm being love bombed for real. So he's like with a broke dude, he's like, yo, girl, I'm going to like get you this and I'll get you that. And we're going to have a family and we're going to have a farm and we're going to do all these things. And it could sell you the picture.
Yeah.
Homeboy cannot do it.
Yeah.
But Billionaire can do it.
Right.
Billionaire's like, you want that house? You want care around the clock?
Yeah.
You want a chef at the house? You want this type of car? You want to take 10 of your friends on a trip? Take 10 of your friends on a trip? You want to always have the best seat in the house at this restaurant? Let me give the manager 10 G's. So you always get it is like crazy. It's just so like, it's been so, I'm so grateful for it because it's been so expansive for me. And just seeing like the way that he moves is different than like any man I've ever met. Like we were at this restaurant on Tuesday and we got there and he was there before me. And then he was talking to the person at the front, the hostess, and they were like, oh, okay, Mr. X, like your table's going to be ready in like 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Like I thought you had a reservation. I'm surprised our table's not ready. All that push comes to shove. He basically gave her $500 to get the best seat in the house. And so we are at the best seat in the house at the restaurant. Like it's in a corner, it's in a booth, like, and it's funny because a man like that would never be caught dead sitting at a table in the middle of the restaurant.
Yeah.
It's almost like Godfather vibes where King energy has to be in the corner.
Yeah.
King energy has to seat private.
Back behind them or the wall behind them.
Wall behind them. Can see everything.
Yeah.
Very comfortable, very cozy, best experience. Like, and you just don't think like that. Like, I don't think like that. You know, like, it's like just making the world go any way that you want around you. Like you do whatever you want. Like it's just so crazy. But anyways, so this man I'm either being pursued or love bombed and I'm not sure, but I'm sort of consciously enjoying the love bomb.
Yeah, totally. I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know him and I don't, I haven't like witnessed it, but like, I don't know if it's like love bomb flavor or if it's just like,
that's the thing. He's also older, so he knows what he wants.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like clear, it's direct, he's rich. It's like, it just feels like that's how he would move about like wanting to pursue someone.
Yeah.
And I guess my question, only because this is the only reason why, I have a friend who is kind of an acquaintance who is now married to someone who is also incredibly wealthy. And for her, from what I've observed and heard from people, so this is hearsay, but it's come at a cost.
Oh, 100%.
So there's there's almost like a contractual without there being a true contract as to what she's able to do, this is extreme, allowed to wear, where she goes, what she can do for work, she can't do for work, like just what's expected of her.
Yes.
And like, some people don't care. Some people that's perfect. And like, I'm not really judging it. I probably have an opinion about it, but like, that's what I wonder.
It's no 100% a trade-off. I need to be available.
Yeah.
At any time.
Yeah.
We're going to Italy Friday. You need to be available.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you need to be available. And then there's also like, it's funny because being out with him, I thought I'd be really uncomfortable going out with an older man.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, oh.
Who's going to see me?
Yeah. But it's funny because when I go out, like when we're out, I'm like, oh, people know what it is. Totally. You know what I mean? I like kind of laugh about it. I'm like, younger, hot blonde with older men. Y'all know what's up.
Yeah, totally.
Y'all know what the exchange is. You know what I'm doing here. You know what he's doing here. Like, you know what's up. And so I actually kind of like that, but I don't think it's not probably going to work because for a lot of reasons, but I'm not willing to give up my life for that. Like, I love my life too much. And I think that there's a woman that's perfect that is like excited to plug her life into his completely. And then there's also like, there's someone, money is great. And also, I don't know if you get that much money being good all the time.
Yeah, 100%.
I think there's some things.
100,000,000%. Yeah.
And I've, in conversation that we've had, there's some business things that are like, it's kind of like mafia vibes.
For sure.
At that level.
Yeah.
So just hearing that, I'm like, okay. I don't know. I'm like,
totally.
I don't know. I'm just like,
well, also if not, it's like someone like that has access to or is associated with potentially that type of energy. And because it's access, like money gets you access
to anything you want.
Anything you want. Doesn't matter.
He takes PJ or takes commercial. He was late for the commercial flight. You can call LAX. They can hold the plane for you. Like, just every restaurant you go to, the whole people know who you are. People move around you. People like treat you different.
How does he treat like wait staff and all that?
Incredible.
Oh, amazing. That's great.
Tipped $2,500.
Wow.
The first night we went
Changed your
out.
life.
Yeah. It's literally the guy was like, thank you so much. This was like amazing. Like, it's like so, it's amazing. Yeah, that's been really beautiful to see and kind to everyone.
That's
like great communicator in that way. But yeah, I think and also, so the level of depth I think he also expects from women is not at a level that I am. So, we've gotten really deep for him. And I'm like, yeah, that was
light work.
Literally light work. that was me and the barista.
Yeah, totally.
Today. That was me and my Uber driver, depth level.
Yeah.
So that is the thing, is just my level of depth and, spirituality and sensitivity and all of that. I don't know if my trophy wife level is there.
But it's a fun experience.
It's the best. Honestly, the abundance to be around it is like so fucking.
Oh yeah.
So fun. Because now I'm just looking at men differently. I'm like, wow, it's because that's what I've been around men that this was the missing puzzle piece to all of my puzzle of men that I've dated was daddy provider energy.
Sure.
And it's not even like he's, I haven't been like paid off or I'm not on payroll.
Right.
Yet. I'm not on payroll. But it's like seeing just like someone that's like, I'm always taking care of you. I'm thinking one step ahead.
Yep.
It doesn't even matter. Like when you have that type of money, it doesn't matter. Oh my God, it was so fucking funny. We were checking out the other night. He goes, I was telling him about a previous situation with someone and he starts laughing. He's like, can you believe that you split the bill and put 2 credit cards down before?
You're like, you're telling me.
I was crying laughing. He's like, yo, you had times where you put both cards down.
Dude.
I was like, I know.
Wow.
Don't remind me.
Wow.
Don't remind me.
So
I had times at the end, I was like, in certain relationships, I was like, dude, just take my fucking card. I don't even,
literally,
don't embarrass
care.
me. Just fucking.
Don't care.
Don't care. Like,
we're out of that energy. I feel like you're, yeah.
oh,
it's like
I mean,
so
that's what I've been
beyond.
thinking about too, is my journey and trajectory. They've all gotten, because the last one was paid very.
Yeah.
And then this one, the most. Not even that matters. It's just the way that we're stepping up the scale, getting closer is great.
Yeah.
Is getting
Trillionaires next.
Trillionaires next. I'm looking for a Rothschild. I'm going Rothschild. I'm going Vanderbilt.
I'm talking more powerful than the president.
Yeah, honestly, I actually don't even want them to be known or like they're just like full reptilian.
Dude.
Yeah, it's who. Okay, that's the last thing about the money thing is it's in the end you don't even know if you want that level of wealth because of all the trade-offs that you have with it and because of the. Yeah. And so
I just think there's a sweet spot with wealth and also being in a relationship in that wealth, whether it's combined or one person. Like, I just think there's a sweet spot where you can have a baller ass life.
Exactly.
And also like be in it together.
Yes.
You know, I don't know. Yeah.
Yes.
I can't describe it other than that.
I thought I wanted a man that was fully in his kingdom.
Yeah.
And I have really liked that. But it is different because if you are building together with a man, that there's a different, it allows me the freedom to build more because I think a man in his kingdom is going to want you to be in his kingdom too.
Yes.
Rather than you both building the kingdom together.
But yeah, and to that point, I think like the feminine has such a like specific and important and necessary role in building the kingdom.
100%.
So it's like
the multiplier.
That's how the relationship I think becomes even stronger, even with more depth, because like in times when he's thinking strategically about this, you're like, look at, okay, the energy here, the spiritual.
Yes, my dream.
You know what I mean?
My dream. It's like, it's funny too.
And you don't have to really lift a finger. You just channel.
And honestly, being with someone who's just wheeling and dealing is like hot.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like I've been with men before who like were like wanted to be that. But like when they're actually talking like, you know, he was talking, I was like, oh, who's your favorite? I was like, who's your favorite business partner? I'm asking these like dumbass questions. And he's like, oh, there's this person. He's like, you know, he's so good to me because if I need, you know, 200 yards, he'll spot me. And I'm like, oh, like 200K. He's like,
yards. I know what that means.
I had no idea.
Shockingly.
I had no idea. And he just like patted me. I'm like, yo, like, because so many men in my world or in the world that I was in talk and dream about talking that way and being that way. And it's not that, again, it's not that they're any better, but to be around someone that's actually doing that and making it happen. Obviously it has a trade-off, but it's like, it's really fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. The confidence, the
the swagger about it.
Yes.
Like,
100%.
Is
style good? Is his style
actually incredible?
Great.
It's like because he has a stylist.
When you're that rich, it could go either way.
You know, that's true. Actually, you know what? Okay, I'll say this. Okay. It's not my preferred style.
But
my preferred style is like basketball hat.
Right. Like has a swag.
I like swaggy basketball-y sporty style. It's like I'm wearing a Celine jacket.
Right.
I have really tailored pants.
Ferragamo shoes.
Shoes. You know, it's like kind of like Guido-y.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. You know, so it's not but also you're an older man.
But you can convince yourself to like it.
If you're his age, if you're wearing swaggy basketball clothes, that's weird.
Totally. I'm just picturing basketball shorts.
Dude, I don't know why. That's like it's like, what's like hot?
No, I know
what
you mean though.
It's also like the way he moves. Like I don't know how to describe a swagginess, but it's like, there's like a way that you move. There's a flexibility of your thumbs. And
I'm just picturing him kind of like sliding on the floor. Just like being able to like moon, you know, like kind of doing a spin move to the hostess like this.
For sure. He's like, all right, let's get it. We were like sitting in the booth too. I had like a fur jacket on. He's like, I love this fur. And then he like flips it over and there's like Zara. And I'm like, just put that back. I was like, just mind your business, okay?
Be like, is this a copy of anything that you can
pick
up for me?
I was like, literally mind your business. I have 3 designer things that I'll wear on our next date all at once, okay?
That's the other thing. So when I was dating, I had an experience where I was set up with a couple of rich guys. You guys can kind of fill in the blanks of why that happened. And I went on a date. Prostitution. Yeah. And I went on a date with, I don't know if he was a billionaire. I think he was like 100 million or whatever. He lived at the plaza. Like it was kind of corny like that.
Yes.
But I just remember my experience was like the extreme lack of swag. But it was confusing at that point in my life because I was like, but, they could provide, like it was just
Wow,
like
for
so
sure.
attractive. But it was like the contrast of absolutely not attracted to them at all, no swag, almost like asexual on their end.
Right.
And they were probably, pushed to like be set up with people or whatever. But it was just such an interesting thing at that point in my life. I think now I'd be like, yeah, no. Like there's
Yes.
no chemistry there.
Yes.
Like yours sounds like there's
Yes.
chemistry. Like there's absolutely no chemistry. But I did go so far as to like go down to Miami on a trip, put me up at a hotel. We would like hang out every day. No, didn't kiss, didn't hug. There was no like sexual energy. It was very interesting. So I think like sometimes with money, there's like, because this is my assumption, when all of those other things are so stimulating,
Yeah.
you either like pay for sex or whatever,
Yes.
or you're kind of neutral about the relationship realm because everything else is kind of like.
Totally. My guy is not.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's not. And that's actually not my preference to be so overtly.
Yeah. Boner at the table.
Dude, what is going on with that? I like, for real, I'm like, I need to like, I think it's me though, because I just like, dude, homeboy, this is crazy, you guys. Homeboy at dinner goes, how much do you weigh?
Stop.
Swear to God, Holy Bible.
Stop.
You guys, I'm like, okay. And I go, X. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, you could actually stand to put on some weight. And I'm like, is this actually reverse psychology where you figured this out from women to say this stuff? You know what I mean? I'm like, what kind of psychoticness is this? And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I just keep going. Like, I'm insane.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's my range?
Totally.
What is like the weight I can be okay at?
Yeah.
And he like goes in and I'm like, this is how I get man to reveal their cards is I play along.
Oh, yeah.
And I just get in their psyche and he's like, oh, this is the thing. This is the range. Like, da-da-da-da.
You're
I'm
like, how many inches?
Oh my God, literally. Be like, wow, okay, so I'll do liquids for like, okay, so I can be this range, but this. And like, I mean, it's almost like a little, if you're approaching every deal, wheeling and dealing, money, numbers, whatever, you're going to go to your girl and be like, how much do you weigh today?
Yeah, dude, that's so interesting. It's
Psychotic.
also such an older guy thing to fucking ask because it's like no filter.
No, it's psychotic. I literally go, as soon as he said that, I was like, take it easy.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you? I was like, what planet are you on?
Wait, that's so crazy.
And then I was like, I'll play. I was like, let's play. And then I was like, your turn. How much do you weigh?
Yeah.
But I think because I don't give a F,
yeah,
I think he's obsessed with that.
Yeah, of course.
Because everyone says yes. He's like, girls are nervous around because I don't need anything. I don't need anything.
Exactly.
What do I need? A freaking Dior saddlebag?
Yeah.
Like,
totally.
I don't need like a pea coat. Like in a trip to Italy, I'm good.
Yeah, totally. But hey, I'm free in February.
Honestly, I'm like, hey, I was like, bring 10 of my girls on the way. Like, but it's tempting. Last thing, I think it's the test to be tempted because I think what I realized is if I'm staying with this, it means I don't believe that I can make wealth for myself. Because I'm saying, oh, this is my access to wealth. This is my ticket to wealth. This is my ticket to living a life that I want is by being with this person.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's true because I think I can actually have and build. I'm already living a life that I want, but like a life of, the home and all of that stuff that I do crave and desire on my own.
Yeah.
And there's a part of me that just doesn't trust him, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, trust all those feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's good. It's like, that's the thing about dating is like, you'll look back, even now you're aware and reflective, but like, it all makes sense. It's like what you kind of need to experience and learn and blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
Because, and that's what's fun about dating. If you look at it that way, you're like, okay, God, what are you sending me?
Yeah. What is my test? What is my lesson? Like, how can this bring me closer to myself? I just see it all as fun. I'm like, oh, this is fun. This is interesting.
Yes.
I'm learning. I love to be around people, but I also needed to be, and recently I'm like, okay, Krista, this is interesting for you, but is this a good person?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dude, what? Like, why are my standards for women like through the effing roof to hang out with me? But I'm like, make me laugh. Tell me a story about, meeting Trump.
Yep.
It's like, just like these standards are just
well,
so
I think
low.
with dating, and tell me if this is your experience, where like I just wanted to experience as much as possible to kind of see like what tickled my fancy.
Yes.
And
Totally.
it's also a test on like settling. You're not going to settle.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was like definitely kind of prone to settle back then.
Yeah.
With people.
Yep.
And it's like, what are the things that kind of attract me initially that are not actually the glue in a relationship? Like money's not the glue.
Yeah, 100%. That's the whole thing is I'm like, you could not, even if you gave me $1 million every time we hung out, I do not pay me enough to spend time with someone I don't like.
Yeah.
I do
That's
not,
the thing.
I can't even, I'm at a party and I'm in a conversation with someone I don't like and I literally cannot get away fast enough.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't care. I think it's clarified for me though, that I want someone that feels like home. The guy in New York that I met was like, felt like a soul home.
Yes.
Like I was like, oh, we sat down 7 hours, went by. I don't even know what's going on. Like, it's not like he was the best fit. It's not like he was like the most gorgeous man I've ever seen. It was just like soul home.
Yes.
And I think that's what made it clear for me. I'm like, you can have all of this. And even the French man, it's like, you can have all this stuff. But like, if you're not like a soul home, it's like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
And
it's felt. You can't really describe it.
You can't, honestly.
It
just happens.
Yeah.
Like it just clicks and you can't force that. And you can have chemistry, but there's a different feeling of having like a soul home with someone.
Because that's a sustained chemistry, because like the initial is kind of confusing.
Totally.
You're like, oh my God, this guy is so hot. Or wow, this lifestyle is like so fucking amazing.
Yes.
But like, what's the sustaining factors?
Of just enjoyment and
the
comfort
laughing,
with one another.
it's the respect, it's the listening while you're talking. It's like all of those things.
Yeah, totally.
One of my goals this year is to maintain really healthy, vibrant, young-looking skin. I just want it to feel very vibrant, alive, supple, all the things. And we can't miss what we're putting in our bodies to support our skin. Yes, we can have all the products and the practices, but like, what are we ingesting? Because that's where it starts. And one of the things I'm taking that I think has been so impactful is Symbiotica's liposomal vitamin C and their glutathione. So I've already seen like my skin brighten. I've seen a major difference. Not only does it support collagen production and immune health, but it comes in these like super convenient little liquid pouches. It's perfect for when you're on the go or traveling, which I'm going to be doing more of in the new year. And they taste freaking amazing. The quality of Symbiotica's products, I've talked about it at length before. Like, I trust this company so much. They're free from seed oils, preservatives, toxins, artificial additives. You're really only getting the good stuff. And I love the liposomal delivery. It's like a liquid delivery. The body loves it. It is bioavailable for the body. The nutrients are delivered safely and efficiently. You're going to be obsessed. So, high quality holistic wellness right at your fingertips. Be present and feel your best for your most memorable moments this year. You deserve it. Go to symbiotica.com/almost30 for 20% off your order and free shipping. That's CYMBIOTIKA.com/almost30 for 20% off your order and free shipping today. Okay, we all know our kids like grow fast. They say that, but until you just see it before your eyes, it's like, wait, what? And it's so heartbreaking when they outgrow like some of their favorite, our favorite too, clothes or PJs. And I was like getting so frustrated. But I finally found a brand that really gets it, Posh Peanut. They make super stretchy and colorful clothes that seem to grow with your child. So you'll no longer wear out those adorable freaking styles. And I'm so excited. And these clothes also withstand like the rough and tumble. My son is like rough and tumble embodied. And I never have to worry about the quality of the clothes just going to crap. They are just phenomenal. Posh Peanut makes their pieces from viscose, from bamboo. The clothes stretch with your kid as they grow, 4 times stretchier than cotton. So it's also super comfy for them. And like these styles are just so adorable. I was like shopping for the holidays. I love to have like holiday themed pajamas. And I got, oh my God, I got a bunch. I got the Père Noël classic pajama set. So it's a 2-piecer that I really loved. I also got the 1 zipper the onesie zip in the Disney Nightmare Before Christmas, Folly and Fright. It's like so cute. I loved that movie. And I got a classic pajama set. It's like a 2-piece red tartan plaid. Y'all, they have stuff for everyone. They have different like collaborations with, different movies and characters. So sweet. They have salads, mix and match separates. They have like onesies. They have their denim shop, which I love. Yo, denim. It's hard, It's like what kid really wants to wear denim, but they're stretchy. You're gonna love it. So try Posh Peanut. It's one of my go-tos for my son and also for gifting my fellow parents, so for their children. So right now, Posh Peanut is offering our listeners 20% off your first order with promo code almost30. Go to poshpeanut.com/almost30 and use the promo code almost30 for 20% off your first order. That's poshpeanut.com/almost30. Promo code is almost30.
That's been
Dude, I love living through.
I know.
You're
That's the whole
dating.
thing is I'm going to run out of stories from my friends.
Yeah.
I know.
But that's that's what I feel like. That's why I come on the pod. I'm like, so what do you guys want to know about the everyday of just being a freaking mom? And
how have you navigated relationship changes this year as a mom? That's huge.
We have to communicate all the time.
Yeah.
Because I think the everyday just happens like so quickly. And all of a sudden you're like, when did we last go on a date? Or when did we last have sex? Or when, it's like these things. And most of that falls by the wayside, not only because of like just schedules. He's working a lot, he's traveling. I have my stuff and Mav, it's like, you're tired. And so I have to kind of like, that's one thing I'm kind of looking at where, yes, of course I'm tired. I think that's like kind of part of the vibe right now in this like stage of how old he is and everything. And that feeling tends to like really take me down emotionally, physically, everything. So it's like, what can I do for myself to like give me those just little extra boosts? And how can I be more of the initiator of like, whether it's sex or whether it's like, let's plan this Saturday, we're going to do a day date. I have a babysitter. They're coming. Like just, he's really good at that. I think he prioritizes that more than I do. And I appreciate that, but I would love to just kind of initiate that a little more. I think right now, just as the mom, my default is like, yeah, but what about Mav? And like kind of that. And he and I talk about it, and he talks about it like with our friends too. Like he's my priority, but he's not my top priority right now. So I try to keep them both at the top. But obviously, I have a human being who's completely dependent on me, us, to live. So I think just letting him have that experience, being open to talk about it and how he's feeling, I think has been really important. And then I think too, like just allowing ourselves, and he has a different experience with this than I do, but we're kind of moving through it together, like dreaming about the next stage of our life together. He's very much likes to be in and create adversity for himself to kind of work against. For example, we are looking to potentially move, and the next stepping stone, we're going to stay in Brooklyn, and then hopefully in X amount of years, we'll either build a house or buy a house. But we saw an apartment the other day, and he went to see it on his own, and he came back. I was like, did you like it? Because I saw it, and I was like, I think this is perfect. And he's like, I don't think I'm allowing myself to like love it.
Wow.
Because I think there's that like, it is an up level.
Yeah.
And it is totally possible we could do it. But he's like, I just realized like I kind of have a block with like really up leveling in that way. I'm sure it feels a lot as like the provider. I'm sure it feels like just a lot of pressure, So it actually, as stressful as it is sometimes around like big life decisions and moving through those together, I find it like really fun and exciting, like to kind of, workshop those moments together, kind of get to the root of like what's really holding us back or what's really stressing us out about things. But to see him as a dad is literally the best. And what I've noticed is like Mav loves to he likes to have a lot of fun with daddy. Like he really like Mav's mood, like he's always amazing. But like with daddy, it's just so playful. And they say that like the dynamic with like fathers as opposed to mothers, like they're there for the play. So it's really, really sweet.
I wonder if that's hormonal.
For sure.
Like if it's testosterone, like they feel their hormones or if they smell different.
Makes complete sense. And I think too, like he's dependent on me for like, cause I still breastfeed a couple times a day. And like, you know, I pick him up and he's like, milk, like, and like tapping my chest. So it's like, I'm like, he needs me.
Yes.
And with daddy, it's like, what do we do?
Yeah, we can have fun.
We have fun.
Yeah.
You know? So that's really sweet to see. And just allowing him to have like more autonomy as a parent.
Yeah.
Because I could definitely hover and kind of give him the list of things he needs to do. And just allowing him to ask me if he needs any guidance or whatever. But just like let them have an afternoon together.
Yeah.
Go off, do whatever, do the things I probably wouldn't do. And let that be okay instead of me like stressing about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it changes. If people tell you your marriage doesn't change after kids, I think that's completely wrong.
I don't know how it wouldn't.
It changes so much. But I think the communication is just key.
Yeah.
Period.
Key with everything.
Everything.
It's just, it's like the time, your energy, your body, like it's just, it's so.
But I think within, just on the body piece, last thing is like, my body's changed. My energy levels have changed. Aesthetically, I feel like I've changed and kind of like just having that moment of like, am I okay with gracefully aging? And I think within the relationship container, I can have all my thoughts about it, but to have someone reflect back to me like, you're beautiful, like you're so hot, you know, like all those things that I know he thinks are true, but it helps me to kind of not make that like something I'm thinking about a lot.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because I don't really want to be thinking about it a lot.
I mean, the amount of brain space it takes up, I think is so crazy for women. Like,
yeah.
I think for me being single, it's taken up so much more brain space than when I was in relationship.
Sure.
When I was in a relationship, I was like, whatever, dude. It's all good. But then you're single, you're like.
Totally.
It's like actually tiring.
It's a huge focus, yeah.
I've been like, I need to let this go. It's so frustrating. Not frustrating. It's fine. I just am like,
Well, sometimes you just need a break.
It just needs to shift.
That's why I say about like having a kid. I'm like, I'm no longer like always fucking thinking of myself.
Yeah, for sure.
And how I can fix myself, and what I could do,
for
and
sure.
what I look like. You know, it's
for
like,
sure.
Yeah, it's like a nice little break.
Yeah.
I'll come back to it.
But honestly. What would you say one word to describe this year for you was? And then what's your word for next year?
This past year was, I don't know if I can whittle down to one word, but I just feel like it was expansive in the sense that I really didn't know how much I could hold.
Yeah.
You know, I really didn't know like how much I could push myself physically, mentally, emotionally. I mean, yeah, becoming a parent, it's a fast track to like all the work that you thought you were doing before. It's kind of like, then you're in the fire.
Yeah.
And then you really kind of see what's working, what's not. And I'm proud of myself. I'm really proud of myself for holding, you know, what it means to like raise a child in the first year, marriage, almost 30, writing a book, yada, yada, yada. I just like, I hope that I can have time after this period to like reflect on like how major that is, you know? How about you?
I think my word for this year would probably be adventure. I think I just went on so many adventures. You know, I was like all over the world. I went on adventures with my friends. I had such adventuresome love things. Like all the uncertainty of it all just felt like an adventure, you know, and I feel like it was just so beautiful. But I think my word next year is dialed. I just want to get dialed. Like I just want to be freaking dialed in.
In what way?
With I want to know, I've been a little willy-nilly about my time spent, like I was saying. I watch a little bit too much YouTube. I listen to a little bit too many podcast content. I want to get more dialed spiritually. I want to get more dialed in my business, with my money. I want to be more dialed, and I am pretty dialed, but in my relationships, like just even more dialed with things. I just want to like focus in a way that I don't feel like I have. I feel like I follow what feels good. I feel like I follow my pleasure. I'm kind of like doing whatever I want. But I think that there's an opportunity for me to really like dial my brand, dial the business, dial everything in so that it can go bigger.
Yeah.
You know?
I think my word for next year, maybe this has been my word before, but I feel like it means something different, but trust. Because I feel
That's
like
a good one.
We have such an exciting year next year.
Mm-hmm.
And as excited as I am, as I said before, like there's some like anxiety about certain logistical things.
We're talking about the book launch, y'all.
Yeah, but I just want to trust that like everything's going to just work out perfectly. And I want to trust that this experience is like one that I'll hold for the rest of my life and that my family will hold for the rest of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I think I'm worried about like the logistics with Mav and whatnot. I'm like, dude, this is an adventure for him too. You know, it's like all those things that I seem to like worry about or want to control, and just trusting that like the timing of my life, you know, what's happening and what's coming up in the order is perfect, you know?
Yeah, I love that. Trust, because this year is going to be big.
It's big.
It's going to be big. It's going to be big for us. It's going to be big for everyone else. And I think everyone in my life is doing really well.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see like what happens next.
Yeah,
because everyone's just doing well.
Me too.
I don't know if it's the age. I don't know if it's what I'm picking up on or what I'm perceiving, but like everybody's good. And it's just a pleasure because everyone's just going to build from there, you know? And I hope that for our audience too, which is so good. So we love you guys.
Should this be the new format for the pod?
Yes, honestly. Should this be the new format for the pod?
I feel like we're going to get some of that feedback of like OG days, more of this.
Oh, for sure. OG days. I was like, OG days were a little more, like I was a little more chaotic and lost.
Same.
A little more depressed.
Yeah, totally.
a little more unwell. I was a little bit more
unhinged.
Like I'd be with the Billy, but like doing whatever I could to like contort myself to make it work.
Totally.
Now it's just like, whatever, dude. Okay, guys, we love you so much. Thanks for hanging with us every single week on Almost 30. It's been the best to be in your lives, truly. It means so much. And I cannot wait for this year together when we get to see you in person on tour. We get to bring this book to your life and to your bookshelves. It has been such a labor of love, and it is truly a fucking amazing book that I'm excited to share with you. You can find Almost 30 Podcast on Instagram, Almost 30 Podcast, TikTok, Almost 30 Podcast, Almost 30 Podcast on YouTube too. And then Morning Microdose is our clip show. So we have 5 to 10 minutes of ad-free inspiration and motivation to your phone every single day on Morning Microdose.
We love y'all so much. We'll see you on the next one.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.